it's going to change Australian way of life for everybody. Not just us, not just trade unionists, but members of the community. I've got kids, I don't want their future to be working for very little and have all our resources taken.
We call on Labor today to stand up for some very straightforward things, right? We want them to stand up for jobs for its people. We want them to stand up for standards. We want them to stand up for safety. We call on Labor to stand against the exploitation of workers from other countries.
Well, for us as electricians, we're genuinely concerned that they're not going to be testing guys for the levels of competency. So we go through a 4-year apprenticeship and then have to go through and get a licence and are registered, and we can be prosecuted for doing work that's substandard at any stage and go to jail for it. And there's every reason for that, because we could kill somebody. You bring people from a different country, their language barrier, their level of training and everything is a genuine concern.
Due to the lack of work in Melbourne, I've been forced to work interstate, which is an issue in itself, but this is only going to make it worse, and I know that it will.
Trade deal pretty much fundamentally undermines the democracy we have. It takes the power away from the people to say no, and if people do stand up and say no, it means compensation for large corporate interests when environmental legislation gets in the way of their profits. So in that sense, even whether it's the jobs or the environment, it completely undermines any way of us saying no to corporate takeover.
There is an issue of democracy here. These agreements have been negotiated in secret, and the Australian people will not be able, if they're approved by the government, the Australian people will not have seen them before they're approved.
Corporations have enough power as it is, and this is sort of the last straw. I think that's why so many people are out here. We know that this stuff is happening for a while.
It's an absolute shame, it's an absolute disgrace that Tony Abbott and Andrew Robb have got us into a situation, signed off on a dodgy deal, got done over by their counterparts in China. China negotiated a better deal for themselves than the Australian government has for us. And I just urge us all to remember this. They've sold us out on jobs, they've sold us out on safety, and they've created exploitation for workers coming to this country. So I want you to join all of us and make sure we get out into our community groups, out into the pubs, out into our workplaces, and tell everyone about this dodgy deal that Abbott and Robb have done.